Okay, everybody, can you see my screen? Can you see the
Yes,
screen? Okay, so let's get started. In the previous session, we talked about forms, and you already created a form in order to convert kilometers to the miles. And I hope that you had completed that experiment in the class, in the lab. So you are familiar with the concept of the form. There are two parts. The first part is the front end, which is an HTML file, and the second part is a back end, which is a PHP file. So every form has two different parts, front end and back end. So in this session, we will go into the depth of form inputs and we'll experiment different types of forms. Before that, I will share with you the required files for this session. There are, okay, 15 different folders. Oh, no, no. Okay. Um, Wait a minute. Okay. Before starting the class, I will share with you the required files for this session. Okay, there is a folder called forms. I will put this file here. And I will make it add to the archive a zip file, changing the name to forms for session. And then I will share these files with you. And if you have two monitors or if you have the access to another computer or laptop, you can simultaneously work with the same files. I will tell you how, but before that, let's share these files in an announcement. Wait a minute, I will bring up the website. And in the announcement, I will create a new announcement for this session. Okay. Files for files for form in form inputs. Session 3 dash B. Dash B means it is the second part of our session 3. The first part was at the day before yesterday, and now this is the E part. So I will this file. Okay. Okay, would you please check the website and see if it is accessible and give me the feedback, please? If it is accessible.
Yes, sir, it is uploaded.
Okay, so we will continue with this files. Okay, as a reminder, I will tell you how to use these files. Go to this address in your computer. It is probably on the C drive, but I installed XAMPP on my D drive. So there is a difference between my laptop and your laptops because most of you, as I noticed in the class, as I found in the class, you installed XAMPP on the C. That's normal and that's the default path for installation of XAMPP. In my case, I prefer to install XAMPP on the D drive. So my XAMPP is on D, your XAMPP is most probably on the C drive. So go to the XAMPP folder, go to the HTT docs in this folder, go to HT docs, then create a folder named forum, and then put all of the stuff into the zip file, extract the stuff from your zip file and put all of them inside the form. Then do not open these files directly from this folder. It is not working. It won't work like this. Open a browser like this, put the address localhost slash forum slash the number. And this is the first number, which is 1. This is the standard text input for any form. So let's see what's inside and what is the difference between the two first and last name and the second, which is a password. And if you type anything in the password field, it will not show the password. I typed 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 at sign, uh, person sign, and the capital A, the lowercase a. But as you can see, there is a limitation here. So when it exceeded the limitation, the new characters will not be accepted. So let's try again. 1 2 3 4 at sign, capital A, and the lowercase a. The default name here is John Doe. I will change the name to my name and the last name. And when I submit this, you will see that the first name is Babak, the last name is Tawakoli, and the password is 1 2 3 4 at sign, the capital A and the lowercase a. And as you can see, because this is a standard password field, the Google will identify that, and the Google password will suggest that if you want me to save this password for later use or not. So the Google automatically detects that there is a password here, and it suggests to keep the password for later use. So I will click this close, and now let's see the inside of this file. Okay, and do not forget to launch and run your XAMPP, because it's very important. It's very important to see the XAMPP, to start the XAMPP before using this. If you do not start the XAMPP and if this Apache, there is no need for MySQL at this moment, but the Apache web server is required. If you forget to start the XAMPP server, you won't be able to use this format or this website on your local host. So before running the experimental files, don't forget to start the XAMPP correctly on your computer. Okay, let's see the inside. And as I mentioned before, do not open the files directly into the form. It is not correct. If you open the files directly here, like like this, if you go to the folder number one and start this file from here, it will show you the same content. As you can see, this is the address of local. But if you put anything here, it will not work. It will not work, and you know, it will show you the inside of the PHP file. That is not correct because normally the user do not have access to the PHP source file. PHP source file is kept secret on the server in a safe place. So do not open these files directly from the folder. Go to the browser, use localhost /form/1, and then if you put nothing here, the default assumption of the web server is that uh, there is an index.html in the folder. Yes, and there is an index.html here. And the server will assume that when you do not specify the name of the file, the pre-assumption or the default assumption for the server is that there should be a file called index.html or index.html or default.php. So it will open this for you. Okay, let's see what is inside this file. We will open this file with Notepad. You can use Visual Studio Code, but as I told you before, Visual Studio Code will slow down my computer uh, dramatically, so I cannot continue smooth teaching of this course. So just open this file in the Notepad and let's see what's exactly inside. Uh, I just repeat these things to refresh your mind. This is the standard in starting of an HTML file. There is an HTML starting tag and HTML ending tag. There is a starting body tag and there is the end body tag. Uh, maybe you might put some header here by using this form of start head and end head and title here and title. Or any kind of styling CSS cascade style sheet you want to use, you can put here in the head. But actually, for our work today, there is no need for the head. So I will remove this part to make um, things more simple. Okay, this is the text example, and uh, you can see inside our HTML, there is a form. The form starts here and ends here. So this is the end tag for the form. This is the start tag for the form. And the action is test.php. It means that if you click on a submit button, it will redirect you to the file called test.php. So this is the action of this form. And the method is post. As I told you, there are two methods, two commonly used methods. The first is post and the second is get. If you use the get method, then your input will be appear on the address bar, and that is not recommended for the sake of security. But if you use the post method, your data is being kept hidden, and so it is a best practice. It is the best practice for using, for interchanging data, so your data cannot be seen by unauthorized people. Okay, so these are the basic things for the form, and there is always a button here, which is called input type submit. The value equals to submit. You can change the value to anything you want. You can change it to next, go to the next part, finish, okay, or send your information, or Simply you can change this value to OK. So there would be a button with the OK text on it. So this is very easy. Okay, and let's see these different parts. As I told you before, for every input, you should put some label. This label is necessary for the accessibility applications on your Windows. Um, okay, let's be more interactive. What is an accessibility facility on the operating system? Who knows? Any suggestion? What is the accessibility? Name one of the accessibility tools in the Windows. Any suggestion? Okay, I will tell you. Windows Narrator. Windows Narrator is used by the people with visual disability or visual impairment. So the Microsoft Windows Narrator will read out um, the content of any web page and helps the user with the visual disability or visual impairment help the user with the content. So the Microsoft Narrator will um, read the content of any web page like an assistant. So if you use labels, any kind of accessibility tool will be able to read correctly the form and help the user to fill out the form, help the user with the disability. So any accessibility utility, the Windows Narrator is one of them. There are too many other accessibility applications available, and there are also some kinds of accessibility extensions for the Chrome or other um, browsers. So you can use some of them or for the purpose of experiment. And one of the benefits of using the label is it enables any kind of accessibility tool to help the user with the content. So it is recommended to use label for each input. So before you put an input, you put a label here. And inside the label, you should specify the name of the input. The label is for, the label is assigned to. So in our case, the first input is a text. The ID is fname, which is the abbreviation for the first name. And also the name of this input is fname. The value, the default value is John. You can change the default value, or you can just remove the default value. This is optional. And also the ID here is optional, but it is recommended to use this ID. And as I told you, this is the breaking line. It means that after this input, you should go to the next line. This is a new line. And so this breaks the line here. So the BR breaks the line, and so the next input will be on the next line. So this is the input, the type is text, this is the ID, and this is the name. And the label should match the name. And most of the time, the ID and the name are the same. So this is the first name, and this is the last name. The same structure with different ID and name and different value, default value. And this is the third input. There is a difference here, and the difference is that the type is passable. It means that it will not show um, the characters when the user is typing in. This is standard form of password, and there is a security risk which is called shoulder surfing. It means that when you're typing something, some unauthorized or malicious user can see your input over your shoulder, standing behind you, um, and that user or that malicious user or the intruder will see the content you're typing. So as a standard method, you should put your password inside a box which shows stars or which shows simple black dots instead of the real characters you're typing. So use this standard form, and then you will see something like this. If you type the password, it will not show to the user. Okay, for the next example, I think we are done. It was very easy. Let's go to the next example. Oh, before that, I have to mention something. If you want to use an image instead of this standard submit button, you can use this file. Let me show you. I put it into the next.html. Okay. So instead of the simple submit button, an image will appear here, and that image does the same. So if you input things again here, and if you put a very simple password here, the Google will alert you that your password is very simple. In my case, uh, okay, yes, and it says that your password is very weak, and it will the password is used in a data breach. So it is the recommendation by Google that do not use this kind of password. Okay, so you can change the submit button to an image, and I will show you uh, how can you do this. Okay, create your image, put the image inside a folder, or in our case, for the simplicity, I just put the image besides my file. You can, as a standard method, you have to put all of your images inside an image folder in a tree-like structure. I told you before, create an image folder, create an asset folder in your website, then subfolder called images, and put all of your images inside that folder. And you can also classify or categorize these images into different folders. For example, the images for the product, the images for the website, the images for your personal preference. You can categorize and classify images into and put them separately into different image folders. But for the sake of simplicity, because we want to keep everything simple here, I just put the image near my file. So there is a next.png near the next.html. So the addressing is straightforward. I do not have to add anything before the name of the file. Uh, the web server will automatically assumes that the file would be uh, in the same folder as the HTML file. The image file is in the presumption of the web server is that the web server, the image file is near the HTML file. So this is the other parts is the same, uh, are the same. The other parts are the same, but there is a difference here. You can see that the input type is image. So this is an image, and the source is next.png, which is this file. Next.png is exactly the image file here, and the alternative for that is next. It means that if just in case the web server cannot load the image, it will display a text called next. And there's a width and a height for that image. And you can see, you can open this image in, for example, Microsoft Paint and see, and you can change it into anything you want. So you can change this image in Microsoft Paint and you can change everything. The original size of this image is 480 and 360 horizontally and vertically. You can change the text, the color, everything here. Okay, so you can use an image. instead of the standard. Okay, let's go to the next folder, number two. Number two is a multi-line data. It means that you can type um, different lines of data here, and uh, let's wait until it completely loads. And as you can see, because I'm using a mm, grammar help icon here, uh, this application automatically detects that there is a text box, a multi-line text box, and it can help us in order to remove any spell or grammar errors. So if I put something here, I hope this email finds zero. Okay, and if I forget to, and then go to the next one, um, I am writing, you know that I should be a capital, so this will give us a hint. I am writing to, and if I, for example, forget to put this S here, which makes a grammar mistake, so this will help us to, uh, you know, correct the thing. So it suggests that it should be fines, or it suggests other substitutes for this. You know, so if you install and run some of these applications, some of these grammar or spell check applications, then this application will automatically find that you are typing inside some multi-line text. And also, even the Google Chrome will help you to remove any grammar or spell errors here. If I put, for example, two T's here, which makes a spelling error, then the Google Chrome will suggest that there should be writing with one T. And this is standard. This is based on your browser and your application. But when you're using this multi-line text, which is sizable, so you can resize this according to your need. Um, the Google Chrome and other applications will identify that you are inside the text box, and they will help you to correct your spelling and grammar. So use this standard multi-line text when you're using, when you want to um, give the user the opportunity to write more than one lines. So this is another example, multi-line text with a placeholder. Uh, it is it asks the user, were you satisfied, for example, with your purchase from our website? And there is something like share your experience. And if you click here, and if you start typing, this share your experience will be disappear. So as soon as I start writing anything here, as soon as I start typing any character here, I am satisfied. This default placeholder or this default text will be disappeared. So this is very good practice. This is a very nice things to do, to put something here, share your experience, or um, another hint for the user. So I use the same thing here and there. No, 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 let's do some. My experience was good. My experience was amazing. Okay, then click on the subway button, and this shows you the result. And now let's see the backend part of this file. Let's go to the number two. And the backend is a PHP file. It's very easy, and you have the experience working with this kind of PHP file. which is called the test PHP, and inside your form, uh, there is the address for this test.php. So the action is test.php. And if you put this processing PHP inside the folder, you have to specify the full address before the name of the file. So let's see what's inside the test.php. You can see that uh, it is a kind of a mixture of HTML and PHP. The code is here. It uses this standard form, post my data into the data and my review, which was the second part, into another variable called my review. As I told you before, in the PHP, we start variables by using a dollar sign. So a dollar sign with some a variable name is a variable. The text is PHP echo. Echo means show this on the screen. And as I told you, this is a space. So we can remove this space. And this is a non-breaking space. And this is another, the second input, which was the review or our experience of purchasing the items from that website, online website. So this is the back end of this one. Let's go to the number three. Number three, because there are 18 numbers and we should speed up our teaching. Okay, as I told you, open this into the browser, not directly. So let's see what's number three. Number three is a checkbox, and it will ask the user uh, to accept, for example, something or to choose something. So you can put here, I accept the terms of the service, and I want to receive email. And if you submit this, it will show the result. The user accepts the terms of the service and user wants to receive emails. And if you, for example, uncheck this, it will says uh, it will say that user does not want to receive emails, and uh, again user accepts the terms of the service. So it works correctly. This is called a checkbox. You can check and uncheck them based on your preference. So let's see the inside of this file. And you have access to all of these files. I posted all of these files as an announcement into the website, LMS website. The inside of this file is very simple. There are two checkboxes here, and I told you I put the label for them. This is my accept, and this is the um, receiving email or not, or so it is called my email option. You can see the input type is checkbox, so it is not text, it is not password, it is not a multi-line, and the ID is your ID. If you see that anything starting with my, it means that it is not a keyword. It is not a reserved word for HTML or any type of programming language. It is your variable. It is your choice. So I used here my email option in order to make clear that this is arbitrary. I can change this name based on uh, my preference. So this is the name and this is the value. So if you check this box, the value will be received. And if you check this box, the value for the backend file would be accept. So let's see the backend file shoulder by shoulder. As you can see, this is the my accept. So here in the backend file, which is the PHP file, we have to check whether my accept is checked or not. So this is the standard code for checking this. It says If is set means if this variable is set inside the web form and the value is equal to accept. So you can change this value here. And I recommend you to experiment with this file. Check this value to accepted or I accept or will accept. And then check the value, change the value accordingly here to see if it is works or not. Or if there is a mismatch between this value and this value, your form will not work properly. And else means when the value my accept is not set, so it is undefined, or the value is not accept, means it is not checked. The message will be user does not accept the terms of service. And this is another repetition for the my email option. So it is very easy to understand. And here the user accept echoes the my accept message and the email option echoes the option for the email. So this is the message and you will change the message according to the status of the input. Okay, and there's something uh, worth to mention here. If you want this item to be checked by default, you add this line, checked equal to true. Okay, so let's, before saving this file, let's see, let's reload. You know, by default, all of these options are unchecked. But if I save this file and add this line here, checked equals to true, by default, it is checked. And, you know, be careful. This is a legal warning for you. Do not check something with a legal meaning by default because the user should intentionally check this. You can check this one because there is no um, legal responsibility or liability for receiving email or not. So you can put this here. You can check this here. Put this checked equal to true here. But actually do not check the items like I accept the terms of the service, I accept the end user agreement, I accept anything which means there is a legal responsibility for that because the user will sue you. The user will bring you to the court that said there it was by default checked and I just accidentally hit the submit button. So be careful not to check anything which has a legal responsibility associated with it, but it is okay to check the I want to receive email. This is not an HTML technical recommendation. This is the a life advice for you. So be careful about the legal responsibility of this checkbox here. Okay, this is the checkbox. Let's go to number 3, number 4. Let's go to number 4. Let's see what's the number 4. Okay, number 4 is a checkbox array. It means you use some sort of iteration or repetition code to go through different options in your array. An array is a series of values. It is a data structure which holds different serial values or different items inside a set. So The question is choose your favorite drink, and um, I used AI to generate some sort of drinks, which is commonly used in uh, India. Uh, I know what the masala chai is. We have masala chai in my country. It's very delicious, and uh, it comes from the southeastern part of the country, which is probably near Pakistan, and um, this comes from the India into the Pakistan. So I know the masala chai, but I do not know. I have no idea about the lassi and chach. Uh, anyone, please, just in a one sentence, describe these two drinks for me, lassi and chach. Anyone familiar with these two drinks? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so uh, I just wanted to awake you because I think most of you are sleeping. Okay, any suggestion about these two drinks? I do not have any idea of these two drinks. Okay, let's forget about that. If you click, for example, three of these options and you click on the submit, then the output will be you selected three drinks, masala chai, lassi, and coffee. And if you choose all of this, it says you selected five drinks. Okay, let's see how what's the inside of this file. Okay, check by arrays. You know, the HTML is the same with a very small difference. You can see I added this array here. So the factoring is not just a variable, it is an array of variables. This starting and ending brackets indicates that there is an array here. So the favorite drink is an array. The other things are the same. So the input is checkbox, the name is the name of an array, and the value for every item is different. Masala chai, lassi, chai, coffee, and black. So the HTML file is the same with the difference. Here I use an array here. But the backend file is completely different. So you can see the backend file here. The code is somehow complicated, but don't worry, I will explain it to you. First, this is the first part of the PHP code, which says that put this variable, extract the values from the incoming um, web request, which is when you submit your web form, it will be transmitted to the server, and the server will use this post to extract the data out of that. So if the my drink is empty uh, and it replaces, or it will place the content of this fab drink into a variable called my drink. If the my drink is empty, means that user does not select any favorite drink, which is something like this. User does not select any favorite drink. And else is when it is not empty. So if it is not empty, it will run the else part. So it will introduce another variable, the count or the number of drinks. So it counts the number of items inside my drink variable, and it puts the number inside n. And then it says you selected n drinks. So you can see in the output. And this is a for loop. I will explain for and while loops uh, when it comes to PHP. So don't worry about that. Just accept this as it is. So it goes from 0 up to the n minus 1 because I is less than n. For example, if you choose 4 items, it starts with 0 and it goes up to 3. Uh, it goes for 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then this is a repetition code, which means that it repeats over this code for according to the number of items selected. And it is just a combination. It is just a concatenation. It adds the name of the drink to the previous message. So these dots here are equal to plus sign in other languages. It means that add the name of the drink into the previous one and put a comma in between. So let's see the other part. It says if you want to check, if you want to check a specific item here, in my case, it is a masala chai. It says, yep, I like masala too. Or if you don't check the masala chai, it says uh, boring. You do not like masala chai. So it checks if the masala chai is being checked or not, has been checked or not. So this is standard code for this. It says that the this is checked. This is a function. You can change the name is checked. This is arbitrary. You can change it to my is changed or is checked number one, or you can add or modify anything here in the name of the function. There are two inputs for this function. The first is the name of the item we want to check, and the second is the desired value for that. So if it is empty, it returns false. So it's very straightforward. First, it will check the input. If the input is empty, um, it checks directly from the host. And if it is not empty, it will go through an iteration, which is called for each. Don't worry about the complexity of this PHP file. I will explain all of these structures in the PHP part of our class. Just get familiar with the syntax. It goes through a for each and iterates through all of these items, passes over all of these items and see if the check value is equal to the value, then it returns true. And if you want to use this function is checked in your code, you're going to use this format. If is checked, favorite drink, masala chai, then say, yep, I like masala chai too. And if it is not checked, um, your feedback to the user is boring. I'm so sorry that you do not like masala chai because I like masala chai. So it's your feedback to the user. So this is checking if the checkbox, if a specific checkbox has been checked or not. So this is the standard code, the PHP code for that. So let's do it again. It should say you selected 3 items, masala chai and masala charge and black tea. And yep, I like masala chai too because I checked this one. Okay, let's go to the number 5. Number 5 is radio button. The main difference between the radio button and the checkbox. What is the main difference between the radio button and the checkbox? Any suggestion from the class? I want to hear something from the class to make sure that all of you are awake, not sleeping, not taking a nap, and all of you are fully participating in the class. So any suggestion, what is the difference between a checkbox and a radio button, which is called the radio button? What is the difference? So let's go to the number 4, shoulder by shoulder here in order to compare them. Ramandeep, answer the question. What's the difference between radio button and the checkbox? Rishi, Answer if you can hear me.
So in that checkbox, we can have the multiple options select, and in the radio button, we can have only option to select one only.
Yes, yes. In the radio button, you can choose just one option. In the checkbox, you can use multiple options. That is the answer. Thank you, Rishi. So here we use radio buttons. You can choose one of the drinks and you can see the result. The favorite drink is coffee. So let's see what is inside the file. Okay, where's the file? Okay, no, here is the file where I am looking. So inside it is as you can see, different items for the radio button. The first is masala chai, which is checked is true. The second is lassi, cha, coffee, and black tea. And the structure is the same. The difference is here. The type is checkpoints. The type is radio. Other things are the same. So the ID and the name. Okay, and you have to use the same name for all of them because you want to group them into one group. So the key term here is the name. It should be the same among different radio buttons in order to make them into a group. So you can choose just one of them, one out of these options. So this is the radio button, and the code behind the radio button is very simple. Let's examine the code behind the radio button. Oh, no, no, no. This is just an empty text file in order to help us identify uh, what is inside this folder because the index and the test are the same for all of these folders, but there should be some sort of labeling here. This empty file is used as a labeling mechanism. In some cases, there are some other hints or notes inside the text file you can see. Okay, let's open the test.php in order to see what's behind the code. The back end code here is very simple. It says just extract the fab drink from the incoming form, the submitted form, and if there is no, if it is not selected, a user does not selected is not correct, does not select, because it was the user does not select any favorite drink. So please correct this spelling error here in folder number 5, and you can see if you remove this part, if you remove this checked here equals to true, then the second scenario, okay, no, let's just control X this because I want to bring this back again. You can see user does not select any favorite drink. So there is no predefined um, drink here. The checkbox is removed. So if you submit this, the answer is user does not select any favorite drink. If you use one of these, it says the name of the drink. And when working with radio buttons, it is recommended that you use the predefined check radio button for that. So use this predefined one, check equals to true, because when you're using radio buttons, usually you want one of the options and it is necessary for you and your phone. Okay, let's take 10 minutes break and then we will continue on 9:05. Okay, let's take a 10 minute break. 10 minutes break. Okay, or should put something like this, 10 minute break here. That's okay. Let's enjoy the break. Okay, if you're ready, we will continue the course. Okay, what's this? Okay, I told you the use of radio bottoms. Let's go to number 6. Let's see what's the number 6 is. It is combo box or drop down menu. These two words are used interchangeably, combo box or drop down menu, because uh, they go drop down. It's the name of the major cities in India: Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Che Chennai. I cannot, I do not know the pronunciation, but I use Kolkata here and then submit. My city is Kolkata. Okay, so this is the drop-down menu. You can use it in order to restrict the options or suggest options for the user and force the user to choose among these restricted options. Okay, let's see the inside of the form. Close this. So 6, yes, 6. Right, no, no, 6 was the radio button. No, 5 on the radio button. 6 is the combo box. So, uh, combo box. You can edit this in the 6 folder. So there's a mistake here. Change the name of the text file here into combo box because it is the combo box example. Number 6 is combo box. So inside the file, you can see this is the structure for the combo box. We use select. So select is for combo box. Select ID equals city, name equals city, and this is the label for this select. ID equals city, and name is equal to city, and these are different values. This is the value, and this is the text. And you know, here the value and the text are the same, and most of the time it is somehow recommended, or it is a best practice to use the same things for the value and the text in order to avoid any confusion. But it is not obligatory. It is not necessary. You can use different texts or different values. Uh, there is no need to be the same. But actually, to avoid confusion and to make things more understandable and straightforward, it's recommended to use the same things for the value and for the text. So these are 4 options, 5 options, 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know the inside is very simple, and the back end is the same. You can see the back end. It's very easy. It retrieves the value city from the incoming requested form and creates the appropriate message here. My city is, as I told you, this is a concatenation. It will connect two strings together. So the first part of the string is my city is, the next part is a space, and the other part is the name of the city. So these dots are like glue or sticks, which makes these things to stick together. And if there is no city, a user does not selected any city. Okay, it's very easy and straightforward. Choose the Delhi and you can see. Okay, let's go to the 7. We have to speed up our pace because we just went through 7 of them. We have 18. We have to speed up. The 7 item is very easy. It is the um, field set and legend. This is kind of a formatting and grouping thing. So you put items which are related to each other inside a new item, which is called a field set. So this is the first starting tag of the field set, and this is the end tag. So anything between these two tags, the field set and the end of the field set, is inside that field set. And you can use a legend, which is the same as a hint or help or caption or title for your field set. So let's see. This is the field set, and this is the legend for that field set. And all of the things inside the field set is inside this boundary or rectangle. As I told you, this is called a formatting option. So there's nothing very special here. And the backend code is the same. There's nothing, there's no change in the backend code, the front end code, and close these things inside build sets. Okay, let's go to number 8. Number 8 is a data list. It is the same as drop-down menu, but with a difference. You can open this drop-down menu and choose uh, different cities: Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and also it includes the cities that I've already used in my browser in different websites. So there is a history from the Google, which is below this line. This is the history of the Google. I used Toronto, Tehran, and Concord. I used these cities before, not in this website, in a range of other websites when I'm browsing or surfing the internet. So the Google has the memory of my previous cities and suggests them in order to help me fill out this form. And there is another difference here, which makes the this data list my favorable choice, which is when you start typing, for example, M, it reduces your choices to the cities containing the M. And if you put T here, you will see all the cities containing the Kolkata, Toronto, and Tehran. And if you continue, for example, TO, it will reduce your choice to Toronto. So um, this is very easy. What's wrong, Tanvir? Are you okay? There's a message from Tanvir here. Okay. All of you students are okay. I hear no feedback from you. I'm just, I
Yes,
think that,
sir.
oh, okay, okay. Uh, any other student? Maybe just me and you here in the class.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So sometimes I afraid that maybe I am disconnected completely and I just teaching for nobody because there's no feedback from the class. Okay.
No,
As
sir, we are listening.
okay, thank you. Okay, so this data list is my favorite choice because it is more powerful and more, rich featured comparing to the drop-down menu. And I recommend you to use this kind of input in your web applications because it has a bunch of suggestions here based on your previous interactions in the web and based on the data you provided for this. So this is very good. So let's see. Let's choose the Calcutta and send submit. And my city is Calcutta. So the backend code is the same as the drop-down menu. It's very easy and simple. It extracts the city from the post And if it is set, then complete the message. If it is not set, user does not select any city, and it shows the message here. So everything is very simple. And I recommend you to work with these files, put your own data, change different things, add some styling, formatting, and experience these things, because these files are available for you. Just put them into the htdocs inside the XAMPP folder, create a folder called form, put all the files there, and then start working with these files um, and give it a try. So work with these files. These are the basic input things. You can use all of them inside the form. And okay, I forgot to tell something about the label. Let's go to one of the previous examples, number 6. No, number 5, the radio button. One of the things that I told you was that use labels in order to help the user with the accessibility tools. And there is a very, minute but intricate fact about the labels. Look here, I click on the text of the coffee, not directly on this radio button, and it works. Okay, let's do an experiment here in the folder 5. I do not want to mess up with this file, so I will create a copy and paste here because I want to restore this file. So let's keep this here in, and let's work with this file and then replace the original file. I want to remove all the labels and see if it's working or not. Okay, so there is no label here, and then let's see the difference. Oh, no. The captions disappeared. So it's not a good experiment here. I wanted to show something. Can put values here like this. This is just experimenting. I'm not sure of the result. You can say end input and then put the value here. Let's see. I'm just experimenting. I'm not sure about the output. But I wanted to say something. I want to say a very special point about the labels. Coffee, black tea. Okay. Okay. Now you can see instead of using labels, you can use this format. So you can put the title or caption for radio bottom here and continue with an end input. And it is preferable to use BR or breaking line. BR to distribute them vertically, not horizontally. Let's remove this extra line here and put 2 BRs here. Okay, let's see the result. Oh, no, 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 no. I forgot some BR here. Yes, there should be some. Okay, yes, there should be a BR here. Okay. Sounds good. Yes. But there is a very, very minute and very little difference here. If you click on the text, it won't work. You know, you can see. If you click on the text, it won't work. You have to click right into the box. Clicking on the text won't work. And this is very, very tedious. This is very, clumsy and awkward. This is very bad practice because the user, when using a mobile phone and want to tap the mobile just into this part, it is somehow annoying. So by using the labels, you enable the user to be able to click on or tap when using mobile on the text and choose the appropriate radio button. So this is recommended. Use the labels. This is another usage of the label. You can see this doesn't work. And this method is the old method of using radio buttons. Uh, Open an input, close the input, and put your text here. This is the old method, and you can see the text doesn't work. Okay, let's uh, just remove this old-fashioned file and okay, restore the original file and make sure that everything is working properly. Okay, now you can see by clicking on the text, you can choose the appropriate radio button. And it is very easy when tapping on your phone. Okay, that was a very, very interesting fact about using the labels. Okay, where were we? We were on the 8 or 9. On the 8, I think. Oh, we have to hurry up. We do not have time. Let's go to the 8. Okay, I completed the 8. Let's go to the 9. What's the 9? Okay. Oh, this is a very, very nice thing. The 9 is the slide bar. You can change it and try to change it. You can start from 0 up to 100. This is a scale, some number between 0 and 100. And for example, here is almost 50. So let's see. Oh, yes, I was correct. Let's try to correct this. A little bit to the right. Okay, let's see. Oh, exactly 50. So let's go to the 75. 75 should be something here. Oh, yes, but I have to go a little bit to the left. Oh, too much. Okay, so try this. This is not a game, but this is a slide bar. And you can use this nice slide bar into your web forms in order to get a kind of feeling from the user. You can, if for example, you want, suppose that you are running a website for a fast food, a delivery of the fast food, and you want to give the user the option or the feature, the opportunity to specify the amount of, for example, pepper or sauce on the sandwich or on the pizza. So you can put something like this and give the user the option to add, for example, more sauce or less sauce, or more pepper or less pepper, more spice or less spice on the pizza, and you can receive the output in your web form. So this is the slider. Let's see the inside of the slider. Amazing. It was amazing. When I was a student, there were no slides. It is the HTML5 for your generation. So this is the input type called range. So the input type is range. Um, the ID is arbitrary. You can use any ID uh, at your own. I use slide bar. You can use my slide bar. And this is a default value. If you, for example, change this to 10, uh, it will be, the default value would be something like this. Let's reload. Yes, this is 10. And so you can specify the default value, or you can just remove the value for that. I think if you remove the value for that, it will stand to the 0 or 15. I don't know. Let's check. I'm not sure about the result. Oh, it stands in the middle. So when you do not use the value, it stands in the middle, assuming the value is 50. So the default value is 50. Okay, let's go to the number 10. Okay. Okay, and this is the reset button. Number 10 is about the reset button. It is not something new, but when you type anything here, and anything here, and you want to reset the form to its previous form, just click on the reset button and it will reset all of these things to the default values. So it's very easy. Um, just the type of the bottom is reset. So you can, oh, no, this is the back end. The back end is the same. Let's see just the front end. Okay, no, let's see. This is the new reset button. The type is reset and the value is reset or clear the form. You can change the value, but the type is reset. So it's very easy. Use this reset button to reset your form, but it is old-fashioned. Um, you cannot see the reset button in new forms. It is old-fashioned. Okay, let's go to number 11. Oh, it is also amazing because it's a color picker. For example, you want the user to choose the color, for example, for a product or a range of products, or for customizing the user experience, the theme of the website, anything related to the color. You can offer this option to the user to choose the color. So if the user clicks on this, a color picker will appear, and you can change the color accordingly and select the color. And when you click on the submit button, um, it will return the actual RGB code for that color in the format of hexadecimal. So it's very useful. You can use this code directly into HTML or other parts of your program. This is very easy to use. So this is the color picker. Number 11 is the color picker. And the format is very easy. You can see here, um, use the label, fav color or favorite color, type is color. If you change the type of the color, then it will show you a color picker. ID is fav color, name is fav color. The name and the ID are arbitrary. You can use my color or anything else. And this is the default value. If you change this default value, if you, I want to change it to something like blue. Um, so RGB, the end part is for blue. The first part is for R, red. The second part or the middle part is for green, RGB, and the last part is for the blue. So I put something like 55 here and then change the other values to 0 or some light numbers like 2020, 2020, and let's increase this to 99. So it might be something like a kind of blue. So let's see, this is the default color. Okay, let's see what will be the color, the default color. Let's refresh it. Yes, it's somehow a kind of color, but it's not very blue. If you want to make it a little bit lighter, you can use this 55. Oh no, oh, it's more dark. Let's use a greater number here, like FF. Oh no, it is a very nice blue here, and it starts with the blue range. So if you want to suggest the user the base color range, you use this default value in order to help the user to start with the correct range of the color. And if you remove this value, I think it will start with the black. I don't know, let's see. Oh yes, it starts with the black color, and oh, it's not favorable. You can help the user to choose uh, the good color. Okay, let's go to number 12. Okay, number 12 is a date picker. Before that, in order to use something like a date picker or a calendar input, um, there were two ways. The first way was the most difficult way, was to create your own calendar. It was a very tedious and time-consuming, boring task to create your own calendar, and it was actually a nightmare for developers. And the other thing was to use the ready-to-use calendars on the internet. Um, most of them were offered without a license. So by a free license, you can use all of them. And now this is also a viable option at the moment, but the HTML5 offered the calendar. So you can use easily the calendar here. The default day is today, but you can change the default day, and you can go to the previous month or go to the future and choose a date in the future. For example, I choose the 21 of the March. And then when you click on the submit, it will uh, retrieve your value here. So 21 of the March, which is the beginning of the new year in Persia, 20, 21st of the March. So this is a date picker. It's very easy to use, and it's very, very user friendly. And there is no need to write any piece of JavaScript code, any piece of any kind of code here. Just use this date picker. This is the standard of the HTML. So you can use this date picker freely. Let's see how. This is the label, this is the meeting date, and this is the input type date. And as I told you, there are different attributes for the date input. You can change the default date, you can change the anything. You can restrict the date between a specific amount of time, because, for example, it is not reasonable to book a meeting for the next year. So any booking is within the next month. So just allow the user to choose a date from um, the next month. You can use these limitations and apply these restrictions into this input. So let's go to and the backend code is the same. It's very easy. The structure of the backend is the repetition of the previous examples. Just retrieve the meeting from the post, and then if there's no meeting, put the default value, which is the today value. And we can also use the date function of the PHP here. So it would be dynamic. So for example, tomorrow this code uh, won't make sense because this 27 will be changed to 28 in the real life, but here it is a static value, so it remains the same. So use the date function of the PHP in order to make your website look more dynamic. And this is the value. As I told you, the backend code is straightforward, the same as the previous code. So let's go to the number 13. Okay, date and time picker. Now you can choose the date and time simultaneously. So book a meeting with more precision. So it's a that it is a precise version of the previous one. For example, I want to book a meeting on Wednesday, the next Wednesday, and I can change the hour and even the minute. For example, at 10 a.m. or 10:30 would be a good choice. 10:30 a.m. Uh, 31 of January, Wednesday. So I submit this, and this says the time is 10:30. This T stands for the time. And if you choose something from the afternoon, for example, from the PM, so 6 in the PM, 6 45 in the PM, then it will show the time in the 24 format. 6 p.m. is equal to 18. So it always uses the 24H format for displaying the time. So this is a date and time picker, and you can see the code inside is very simple, the same as the previous codes. You can see it's very easy. The input type is date time local. Very easy. Let's go to number 14. Let's go to number 14. This is the month picker. You can choose a month. Here you can separate the date and month. This is a choice, or even if you want to, for example, just choose the month. So, and this is not just a month and the year. So I can choose the March of 2024. I can scroll up and down to go to the previous years, for example, 2020, 2022. Displays the exact year and month, and I can scroll down to go to the years in the future. So I can go to the year 2024. And there are two options here: clear. You can clear and start it over from the beginning, and you can use uh, the month we are in. So it's very easy to use this control. Okay, the code inside is very simple. Just replace the date with the month. Let's see what's inside. Oh no. No, 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 no. Let's go to the number 14. Okay. The type is month. So it's very easy. There is no complexity here. The type is month. So use this in order to get the month from the user. Okay, let's go to number 15. This is uploading a file, and this is very important. It's very, very important to be careful of placing this input inside your website or web page. My suggestion to you, my recommendation to you is as long as it is not actually required, as long as there is no other way to give the information from the user, as long as there is no compulsory need for this, do not use uploads file. This is a security breach. This is a security exploitation in your website. This might put your site at the cybersecurity risk. So this is the most common and the most vulnerable part of your website. Upload a file. And I do not want to say that the 80% of the website hacks are done based on the file upload. I do not have the number. I do not have the statistics exactly, but my experience, based on my experience, these are one of the commonly used, um, intrusion um, points to a website because anyone can upload a file and he or she can put some malicious code inside the file. So this is a file. This file is like a box you receive from an unknown user, and there might be anything inside the box. There might be, for example, some explosives, some toxic material. So you do not know what's inside the box. So do not use upload file when there are other possible ways to give the information, when there are other possible ways to acquire the information from the user, do not let the user upload a file into your website. This is not a good practice. Unless you are well protected by using all of the things related to upload files. And there are lots of things. There are more than, for example, 20 up to 50 different piece of uh, code and practice related to the files to identify the file type, to remove any potential code hazards inside the file, to remove anything that is suspicious, anything kind of skill injection, kind of code injection. There are different things before letting the user to put the file inside your website. By allowing the user to upload a file into your website, you will grant the user the right to put anything in your website unless you are well protected by using the best practices. And because you are a beginner in website development, I prefer not to use upload file as long as there is no mm, critical need for that. But we have to learn this. So this is a standard browse. You can browse on your computer and you can upload, for example, this file. This is an image file. And when you click on the submit, it will show the name of the file. And I will show there are different things in order to handle the file in the back end. And we will cover these things in the PHP part of our class. These are the required code, some of the required codes to handle the files. The first is to um, keep the file inside the uploads folder and check if the file already exists or not to overwrite on the existing file and limit the user to upload a certain amount of size so not to overload your website. And if you do not put any restriction on the file upload, some malicious users by using bots or internet robots, they can upload different files, different large files into your website and fill up all the disk space on your website and make your website not functioning. So this is one of the ways to, disable the site. This is called the DOS attack, volume DOS attack. And by putting different information, different kind of junk files into your website to fill up all the space. And after that, your website won't work. um, this is not a kind of a hack, but this is a disruption. This will disrupt your website from function. So this is also a security risk. Any disruption on your in your service is kind of a security risk. So you can limit the size of the file. You can limit the format. For example, just JPEG and GIF is allowed, not executive files or batch files or JavaScript files are allowed. And you can do anything about the files by using PHP at the backend. And I will cover some of these things in the PHP part of our course. So this is the upload file, and the front end is very simple. You can see the front end is just the type is file, and it is like my resume. Select a file, upload your resume, and in the back end, in our back end, it just shows the name of the file, not do anything about the file, not receiving the file, not saving the file, just showing the name of the file. That means that we received the file. Okay, let's go to number 16. Oh, this is the numbers. There are certain situations when you want to the user to just input the numeric value, and you do not want the user to put anything else, any characters, any strings, anything rather than a number. So you use these numeric values, and there is a very, very nice up and down arrow here. Let me zoom because you cannot see. It's a very nice up and down arrows here. You can increase the number, decrease the number, or you can put the number by hand here, type the number here, but you cannot type any character here. So the characters doesn't work with the number, the numbers work. So this is a number input, and this is another number input with a step size. It says you can go 10 up and 10 down, and you can put any number in between. Okay, no, no, no. The two nearest values would be 40 and 50. So there should be some standard values here, 40 and 50. And when you put the wrong number, uh, it displays a warning to you. So your lucky number is 12, the second input is 40. So use this number value in order to receive the numerical input from the user. Let's see what's inside. You can see the input type. No, no, no. It's 60. Let's go to the 60. Okay. You can see here the input type is number and the step. And there is step 10. There is the minimum and maximum value and the default value here. And for the number without the step, there's also a minimum value, a maximum value, and there's no default value here. You can put a default value here in order to suggest anything default for the user. Okay. So this is the numbers. Let's go to the number 17. Okay, this is the this is called the search box, but there is something very, very fancy here. There is a X sign here in order to clear. So if you use this word, the cross sign or the X sign appears here, and you can click on the cross sign in order to clear this input. So it's just like an regular input. So there's nothing very special about this besides the X bar here. The X sign in order to clear the input. So it's not very complicated, and there's nothing special about this. The type is search, and the name is my search, and the backend is the same. And let's go to the last example here, now, number 18. Number 18 is email, URL, and phone. Okay, let's see number 18. It asks the user to input email, website, and a phone number in a special format. So if you put some garbage here and hit the submit button, a warning appears here. It says, please include an @ sign in the email address. There should be @ sign to make an email address valid. So it is Babak gmail.com. So it's a valid email. And for the website, if you put some garbage here, another warning appears, says that the website should be something like www.mywebsite or http like website.com. And this is the number. It says that the first there should be 3 digits in the beginning, um, following by another 3 digits with a dash, and followed by 4 numbers here. So the correct numbering format is like this. And if you submit this for work, your email is like this, your website is like this, and your phone number is like this. But if you just put, for example, 10 numbers consecutively from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 here, and then it will ask you to put the appropriate spacing here. So you have to put the appropriate spacing here, and then you can submit your form. So the phone number should be in that format. When you're using this input, the phone, you have to give the user an example or a hint, because most of the time it is very, very confusing for the users to follow the exact format or the pattern when there is no hint or any help for the user. Okay, you can see that our examples uh, are completed now. So these are all the required inputs for any web form. And I have 2 other things here. There is a note on hidden fields. You can use something like this. This is called a hidden field. And you can put some numbers inside the hidden field, but it is not actually hidden. Uh, an ordinary user cannot see the value of this, but an advanced user can see this because this is on the client side. Just right click on your website and click on this show the source or show the source file, and then you will be able to see this value here. Or use the developers tools in the Google Chrome and other applications. I know that the Firefox has the same option for developers, the same as developers option, which shows the inside of the HTML, so you can change different values inside the HTML and see what's going on inside the page source. And the Google Chrome offers developer options. You can change, you can see and change the code running on your browser, the inside HTML code and JavaScript code. You can trace over all of these things, and you can see. So this is not actually a hidden field, and it was old-fashioned. Nowadays, these hidden fields are not widely used. In the ASP.NET, I think in the previous versions, the Visual Studio ASP used this hidden value to transfer some kind of encrypted data. That was I think the application session or the form session or something like that. They used some kind of hidden inputs, but actually it is not hidden, and you're not recommended to use this hidden to store any critical or private information because it is not actually private to the advanced user. So this is a note on the hidden field, and there is another note on the uh, attributes. There are different attributes for every input in the form. The value, as I told you, you can specify the value, the step in the numbers, the size for the files, or the size of any text value, for example, 20 characters, if it is required, or if it is not required, if it is read-only, and what does it mean to have a read-only input? When it is read-only, what's the point? Uh, it doesn't make sense to have an input, but it is read-only. You cannot change the input. It is old-fashioned. It was used when, for example, you sign up in a website and you sign in, so you cannot change your user ID anymore. The user ID will be appearing in any form, but the it is read-only, so you can just see your user ID. You cannot change that. Or some kind of information which is fixed, um, and you cannot change this information, but you want to show this information inside the box, the same as the other information in your web form. So the read-only is used for that. Patterns are used for numbers and other things. It is a very wide range of patterns based on regular expressions, numbers, characters, and special characters, and so on. Between the characters, there are two patterns for the capital and the lowercase characters, and there are different patterns. We do not have time to cover all of this, but I refer you to follow these things on the internet. You use regular expressions in HTML and patterns. You can find different subjects related to these patterns. And also we have the minimum and maximum for the numbers, and for the number for an input field. The maximum specifies the maximum number of characters for an input field. The disable is when you want to intentionally disable an input, so the user cannot change that input unless the user, for example, goes to an editing mode or to some sort of accepting some condition. So you can disable these things. And these are the different attributes. And for the checkbox and radio button box, as I told you before, there is an attribute called checked, and you can add this to the radio button or a checkbox. So these are two notes on the things, and I think that let's call it a day, and that's the end of our session. There are some slides remaining in this week 3, and I will cover them very quickly in the next upcoming session for you. Then just in 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 15 minutes, uh, uh, 15 minutes, it will be completed because it's very easy, and most of the slide has been um, I told you the content inside most of the slides. There are some hints and there are some other things inside the slide. I have to tell you in the next session. I will tell you all of them. So this, let's see, we covered all of this different items in the slides. Let's see in more details, comparing to the slide itself, and by offering complete running examples. And I offered you running examples, so you can put this example inside the htdocs folder and you can work with them. So as you can see, uh, I told you about the different items inside the form. And let's see, this is the form element, and I explained all of these single text, multi-line text, checkbox, radio button list, which was the combo box or the select. And I told about the labels, and as I told you, it is used by some sort of accessibility things for label, um, and these are different things. I told you that the email, month, number, date, and color. I forgot to tell you about the week. It's very easy. I will tell you later. Um, For any form, there is an ID, there is a name, there, if it is required or not. These are the attributes of forms. And I will, explain these things in the next session for you. This I covered most of these parts, but there are maybe some little things we should more concentrate on. I told you about the field set. I told you about the data list, uh, about the this kind of progress bar or slide bar. Okay, this is the end of the session, and I hope you have. Oh, before leaving, let me download the name of the attendance here. So let me download the attendance here. Do not leave the class. Let me download the attendance. People here. Wait a minute. Yes, participants. Let's see. Okay, download attendance list. Okay, thank you for your attention, and let me check if yes, it has been downloaded. Okay, any question? I
No,
hope
sir.
you had a nice
No,
weekend.
sir.
Was the class useful for you? What is your feedback? Was the class useful?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and now you have the tools for any input. Just put them into your XAMPP and try and give them a try. Work with them, change the things, change according to your needs. Try, experiment with them, with the files. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye. Goodbye.